Get the latest movie reviews, Hollywood news, and inside views. It's time for Behind the Screens with Lights, Camera, Jackson on 107.7 GNA.
Hello.
So here he is, Lights, Camera, Jackson. But we're going to do it on Wednesday because of some different films that are opening up for Thanksgiving, pre-Thanksgiving. But before we do that, let's talk about last weekend's box office and a movie that we thought, kind of performed okay, but the studios thought Justice League was somewhat underwhelming, right?
Right, because Justice League did under $94 million, the lowest open for any of the 5 films in the DC Extended Universe that started with Man of Steel back in 2013. Now, Wonder Woman only opened to $102, $103 million, so this is not that much lower, but Wonder Woman ended up making more than $400 million in its entire run. The negative reviews really hindered Justice League. This is not a very good film, so that played a role in it. And I also think, and I think it's going to play a role in Coco as well this weekend, Wonder did so well. And anybody, whether you're a 10-year-old, you're a teenager, you're a 20 or a 30-year-old, you're really interested right now in seeing Wonder, not only because it's one of the best films of the year, but because it's got Julia Roberts and Owen Wilson and Jacob Tremblay, and it's a story that so many people can relate to. So all of those factors go into Justice League.
Was Wonder really that good? That's an interesting movie. That is one that has piqued a lot of people's interest, and if they didn't see it last weekend, and by the way, it had a pretty good opening last weekend, they'll see it this weekend. That could do another 30 or 40 million this weekend, don't you think?
Absolutely, over the 5 days for Thanksgiving. There's so much subtle emotional power in it. It's really amazing. When I went to see it Friday night, the theater was packed. I couldn't believe it. So packed. I wrote on social media, if you got box office predictions for Wonder, increase them. And I was correct. It ended up with about $27.5 million. And yeah, another 40 over the 5 days, wouldn't be surprised.
But it won't win the weekend because of Disney.
Well, here's the really interesting thing. I went to see Coco last night. I was one of only 7 people in the theater, which is so unusual, especially for a Pixar movie, and considering kids are off of school today. Everybody went to see Wonder. Everybody went to see Daddy's Home. Hardly anybody was in to see Coco. And as a matter of fact, before Coco is a new Olaf Frozen short. The other 2 sets of families that were in the theater last night, as the Olaf short started, went out into the lobby to ask the theater employees why there's a Frozen short going on instead of the Coco movie. They did not realize it was coming, and they got very confused. It was an overall odd atmosphere last night.
That is a little weird. Is there something about this particular film that's not connecting with people? I got to be honest with you. Like, I'm not a Disney guy. I don't know what Disney's up to, nor do I really care. Brody's still kind of on the cusp. He likes Mickey, but we don't take him to the movies yet. This movie had done nothing for me. Like the casual outside person looking in, but also kind of still connected because of the show that we do and the fact that we talk to you every week. I had no idea this movie was coming.
Yeah, it's about the Day of the Dead, the famous Mexican holiday, and there was already an animated film about the Day of the Dead called The Book of Life, which came out in 2014. So Pixar already had to differentiate themselves from that film significantly in terms of visuals, but also staying true to the spirit of the holiday and the culture. So a couple elements of this film really work, the themes of remembering and not forgetting people, and visually it's stunning, but there's not a lot of life in this story. I think this topic really restrained Pixar from all they can do in terms of humor and story depth. They don't take any risks. There's hardly any comedy. I wanted to really like Coco, but I just couldn't quite get there.
Did you like the Frozen Adventure, Olaf's Frozen Adventure?
I did. I think it's very fun. This was supposed to air on ABC as a holiday special this year because it's 22 minutes long. But they decided, Disney, a couple of months ago, to release it in front of Coco instead. It can qualify for the Best Animated Short Film Oscar if it wants to. Olaf's one-liners are terrific. The songs give you chills. They give you that Frozen feel and stay true to the spirit of Frozen. I think it is very fun.
We all like Frozen.
Oh, we love Frozen.
Right? Is Olaf going to is that going to be a spinoff for Josh Gad and that character for its own, hour and a half, 2 hour movie?
And I don't think Frozen 2 is going to be completely Olaf. This is his big adventure with Anna and Elsa more in the supporting roles this time. But Olaf, man, there's some very memorable moments here.
It's a great
and
character.
Some cool ways they tie in some of the characters.
Real quick, before we let you go, I saw Get Out over the weekend. How in the world did the Golden Globes nominate that for a comedy? Did they explain it at all?
Here's my take on it. I think it was purely from a strategic standpoint and not from a racial standpoint or anything else. If it was submitted as a drama, it might have gotten lost in all of the dramas because there's a little bit of humor in Get Out from one of the supporting characters and a couple of elements. They figure maybe they had a better chance of getting it into the comedy category to actually get nominations. Some people are blowing things out of proportion as far as taking it beyond that. It is, from a strategic standpoint, 100%.
I mean, the only people who would think that movie's funny would be like plantation owners in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the tone of the film. It's
right. It is serious. I agree. It's a thriller. It's serious. It's intense. But because there's that friend character and because a couple other things happen, they feel maybe they can get away with comedy instead of drama. Look, I think the Golden Globes' way of doing things is just terrible, and they should get rid of them because, like, sticking to one specific genre for something, there's so many movies these days. Wonder is a comedy, and it's got drama, and it's got several other elements to it within the same scenes. Just putting something in a box, in a category, is not the way of doing things anymore.
Great stuff, Jackson. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, to you guys out there. Have a great day. Hope you get lots of food, football, and go see some movies, too.
Excellent job. And if people want more from you, Jax, our friend, how can they do that?
Lots of reviews coming this weekend. Lights-camera-jackson.com and Twitter at LCJ Reviews. Award season is here. I just got the screener for Darkest Hour, Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill. He's the Best Actor frontrunner. Going to view that either today or tomorrow. Hopefully he's great.
Thank you, Jax. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, give our best to the family.